Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: non-Americans. Does your culture have old-fashioned dog names like we do in America, such as Fido, Rex, Spot, Rover, etc., and what are some? City, Sama, Hvati. Iceland. Every Icelandic name looks like some mighty god name. That's because it's basically Old Norse stuck on an island and frozen in time. And if it's a black dog, Colo or Tia. But it's our horses which have the most classical names. There is even a department that oversees horse names so they can't get unusual names. Really? Please explain more, this is so interesting. Why horses? What happens if you name your horse something unusual? In Singapore. Male dog, boy boy. Female dog, girl girl. We're not a creative people. We're not a creative people. You literally have a ship built on top of 50-story buildings. Its name is Ship Ship. There is a tomato variety called Girl Girl's weird thing that is named because someone's dog found an unusually colored tomato. I wonder if they were from Singapore. I feel like googling that to see what it looks like might not produce the correct results. Australia has Dusty, Sheila, Max, Dog and Bluey. Wow, your dog is so cute. What's its name? Dog. It's Ask Him. Bella. So many Bellas. Edit, a little off topic, but when I took my dog to the vet the other day I met this lovely older lady with an elderly kelpie she was there to put down because of her aggressive cancer. Sweet lady who was very upset about it. When she was called into the room she stands up and goes, "Come on nickel asterisk asterisk her." I was absolutely floored. The nurse just nodded slowly at me as if to say, "Yup, you heard right." How do you confront a woman for having a racist dog name when she is deeply upset about losing her dog? We were seen to in the waiting room, just stitches coming out, so I didn't see her again. When I spoke to friends about it they weren't surprised and said it's quite common, and the other common one in the country is Blackie, again, typically for racist humor reasons. Edit 2, to clarify, I realize Blackie isn't in itself a racist pet name. I've just been told that the reasoning behind locals in my area make their pets this way often had racist roots. What in the fuck did I just read? We have an older lady at my vet clinic that named her Chihuahua Beena. She said she honestly didn't know it was racist and asked us to just call him Bean from now on. Pokey and John serve this purpose in Japan, but much like Spot, they are pretty much only reserved for dogs that an author didn't want to spend any effort naming. You almost never see actual dogs named either. Edit, of these two old-fashioned names. Of course people name their dogs. Edit 2, yes really. John. It's foreign, short, and it was one of the most common names in the Meiji era, along with Pokey. Most of the others are still commonly in use and don't fit the old-fashioned criteria. Is Shiro a common one? My favorite Japanese folktale growing up involved a dog named Shiro, so I always wondered. Shiro for white dogs, Kuro for black ones. Color-based names are pretty common, yes. I always remember dogs in Japan being named what they thought were common American names, John, Bob, etc. An ex had two miniature schnauzers. Charlie and Elizabeth, Bess. They were both male. I follow a lot of Japanese pet accounts on Instagram for a certain breed of cat, and I was shocked by how many of them have traditional /formal sounding English names, Abraham, Timothy, Elizabeth, Jeremiah, etc. Tuzik, Bobike, Russian, Serko, Ukrainian. Noone gives them to dogs anymore, but they are still used in pet-related jokes. Same with all the examples in ARP's question. I've never met a dog named Fido, Rover, or Spot. I met a T-Rex though, so I guess I met a Rex. I have a dog named Spot. He's pure white. I wanted to give him a complex. What do you call a blind dinosaur? Doyalthikhesaurus. What do you call a blind dinosaur's dog? Doyalthikhesaurus rex. I'll show myself out. Fenton. Fenton. Fenton, oh Jesus Christ, Fenton. UK. For people out of the loop. The Adventures of Fenton. Thanks for sharing such a unique part of your rich cultural heritage. Indians Moti and Hira, Pearl and Diamond. There's also Sheru, Tiger. Are you telling me that Shere Khan was just called Tiger King? Yup. Shia is literally a generic term for big cat. Firules in Mexico. Don't forget oso _ means bear in Spanish. My two chihuahuas are Osito and Bina. Special Agent Oso. There's also Pikey Pero and Hijo de su Chigada Madre. Also Pulgoso. Ah, a true Mexican. Also Lovio. Estaba buscado este message. For the non-Spanish speakers, Solovio sounds like a Spanish name, but it came from the phrase solo vino, or he came alone, meaning the dog was probably a stray dog and the family adopted it. There's a classic joke involving a Firules. Translated, it goes like: once, there was a man about to meet his girlfriend's family for the first time over dinner, but unfortunately he ate a shit ton of beans. After noticing that there was a dog in the house, he thought about framing the dog for his mad bean farts. In the middle of the dinner, he timed his fart to rip when the dog is behind him. PFFFFFT. The dad yells Firules. Get out of there. But that still wasn't enough. He regretted eating those beans. While maintaining a normal face and participating in the conversation, he waited for Firules to walk behind him again. For it. The dad snaps Firules. Leave us alone. You gotta be kidding me, our handsome suitor still had some ugly gas left in him. He figures to fart it all out once and for all after the dog walked behind him again. Firules. Can't you see that man farting on you? Get the fuck outta here. In Ireland, the typical dog name is Bran after the legendary hero Fio Mac-Cumhale's hound. Rover is also an old one. My neighbors are from Ireland, their dog's name is Coo. Said it's some mythical / historical name and super common. It means dog or hound in Irish. I always wanted to name a cat this, for shits and giggles. Over the course of 50 or 60 some odd years on my mom's family farm in Cork, if you were male dog, your name was Shep, if you were a female dog, your name was Lassie. My dad's dogs growing up were all called Pup. We managed to name one Scooby when I was a kid, but Pup after that. Also a farm in Cork. Musty, Blackie. Finland. It's considered a classic, but I've never actually met a dog with that name. Also, Reku. Tie, top of my head. Dog, spots. Tube, for floppy-eared. Owie, fat, fufu, fluffy. Tugja, bag of silver. Tugtong, bag of gold. And a lot of times we just call them by their colors, like dum for black, dag, red, for orange-brown, or co for white. I don't know why, but the idea of naming a dog fat is just hilarious to me. Dog. Hair. Cerberus, or Kerberos, was the name of the three-headed dog that guarded the underworld in Greek mythology. It literally means spotted. Why do people like calling dogs Spot? Is it just the legendary dog name? Bobby in Portugal. Daggit Bobby. That dog ain't right. Also Pachafra, goes for cats and dogs, and it literally means houseshoe. Well, in Chile there's a lot of dogs named Colo or Colatu, which is a word meaning mestizo, mixed race or crossbreed in English, so it's a name given to most strays, or even just a term to refer to strays in general. There's also a law called Ley Colatu made for responsible pet ownership inspired by a dog who was named that. Also, personally, I've met a lot of dogs named Black and Negro. Hell, I've got 2 pets named Egram myself. Edit, yes, also Cachupi. I never knew that's what Colo means. In the US it's a semi-derogatory term for a Latin American from the US who talks and acts all gangster. It's a very old term. It comes from colonial times, when Europeans bred with indigenous South American locals, creating mixed children, so that sorta fits with what you're saying. Swedish kindergarten kid to other Swedish kindergarten kid. Are you a boy or a girl? I don't know. What is your name? Mans. Oh, then you are a cat. That makes that Swedish Eurovisio guy Mans Zelmerlo, who seems to appear a lot much more entertaining. In Germany it's mostly Bello, but I have also seen lots of Balus lately. Edit, there are lots of other typical German dog names in the comments. Fifi. Kumaho. Fifi is slang for vagina in Swedish. Have fun calling your dogs over now. I had a German landlord with a dog called Hudi. Hudi is basically doggy. We're a practical people. Hasso as well. Waldy, specifically for Dachshunds. I suggest Strolkai as an addition. And Lumpy, of course. Firules in Spanish, not sure if Mexicans use it exclusively. Solovio. Muchas, Pelusa, Chiquis. Oso, Lobo. Barlo, Lisi, Albania. I like both of those a lot. This is a neat question, I would have never thought about this. How does that fit on a tag? This will probably get buried, but Zimbabwean here. From The Lion King we realized that a lot of people like to name their dog Simba. It's actually a name for human men out here. So I guess this is the opposite answer. Anyway, to answer your question, our common dog names are Shuma, Lion, Bucky, no idea why, and Tiger. Those are the only few I can remember for now.